Believe me, together we can change history.
He'll beat them on the ground, he'll beat them in the air. Oh, Fabian Share, beat them on the ground, he'll score from anywhere. Oh, Fabian Share. You'll never ever beat Dan Burn. He's from Blythe. You'll never ever beat Dan Burn. He's from Blythe. He's from Blythe. You'll never ever beat Dan Burn. He's from Blythe. You'll never ever beat Dan Burn. He's from Blythe.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon in the UK.
You can have too much of a good thing, you know.
Man, and we had to throw that medley. We had to throw the hits medley of the mighty win. Good morning in the US. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Afternoon in the UK. Half day, midday. How you doing, mighty win?
I'm doing great, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting used to my new surroundings, as you can see, which are rather plusher than what I'm used to.
We got you set up.
Robson looking over my shoulder. If I get that right, there you go.
We got you set up, man. Now you're looking pretty good.
Well, looking good, guy. Looking good.
Looking good. How's the arthritis? How's the osteoporosis?
Thankfully, I've got none of that yet.
There we go. Okay, good.
I tell you what, I must be starting to get though, bloody dementia, because I was just watching the show back last night. How could I not remember Aguero's name?
Yeah.
I'll say, whoa, hey, hang on.
Yep.
It was late at night after a long night at the pub, by the way. So
that's right.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Please, everyone, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. Super chats are much appreciated. Click the $ at the bottom right of your screen if you want to donate to the channel, as well as if you want to win prizes every month, become a member of the channel, participate. Click on the link pinned in the chat or hit the join button. Look for the join button first, because on iPhones, on iOS, YouTube doesn't place the join button. You have to do it through link. But do so, enjoy, and also you're going to be able to enjoy exclusive content, including the Once Upon a Time podcast that's coming up pretty soon, live for members. So you get a lot of perks. So please join the show right now. You're free to join our Facebook fans forum as well. The link is in the description. The link is in the chat, as well as our WhatsApp fans forum as well. So you can have both options and join us. If you don't have WhatsApp, you can join Facebook. If you do have WhatsApp, you can join both, whatever you please. So there we go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, trolls. Good morning, Beer Viking on the chat as well. Appreciate all of you guys coming in. Look at this. They did it. Look at this.
The mighty bit.
They got this is how you know. This is how you know you're getting noticed. This is how you know you're getting people are talking about you. The Mighty Ben. You got a parody account. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. I'm the Mighty Ben. I'm here to collect all the rubbish Derek thought. Wow, that is incredible, man. I appreciate you. The
Very
Mighty
clever.
Ben. Very, very clever. We got a piece of news to talk about, of course, here in the Breakfast Show. Newcastle United never lets us down. There's always news every morning, every day. And I didn't believe so, because when we did the Undisputed show, I thought, we covered everything. What can happen in 8 hours or so? Well, a lot of things have come up, and we're going to be discussing those in this show. So let's get started. You sent us a link about Dan Ashworth's replacement, called Michael Emenalo, is the obvious choice, according to the mag. It's not so obvious to me because I have no idea who this guy is.
Well, I'll be honest, Chris, I'd never heard of him either, which just shows probably what a great job he did, because he was the original director of football at Chelsea when Abramovich took over, apparently.
Is that right?
Yeah. So at Chelsea, he won. The CV is one to be admired. He was a fundamental figure in Chelsea's success during the period they won their first Champions League, 2 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, the Europa League, and the Champions League, of course. And working with such managers as Rafa Benitez, Jose Mourinho, Gus Hiddink, and Antonio Conte. His ability to work with strong characters is apparent. And now, of course, the reason everybody is linking him so heavily now is because he's currently director of football at the Saudi Pro League.
Wow.
So, he's right in the backyard. And
But could we give him the same when we say players are playing the Saudi league, we say, well, they're retired, they're past their prime, they're not any good no more. Most people say that, let's be honest. Or even with the MLS or any of these leagues. So could we say the same thing about a DOF, or does that even it doesn't?
well, you see, the thing is, what he's having to do as DOF, I would imagine, is deal with the agents of all of these players who are going there. So he's having to deal with R7's agent. He's having to deal with who was the winger that we were after from Napoli with a 25-letter surname, Kvaratskhelia or whatever it is. But he's having to deal with all these top agents in order to recruit them to Saudi. So his contact book will be like a who's who, I would imagine.
Well, again, actually, no idea about this guy at all. But again, like you said, he was very much successful at Chelsea, so that's you can't get any more successful than that. And obviously, they are sort of a similar situation than us. What they got, they got their takeover.
Well, they were then, certainly,
and they wanted they had to win. They invested a lot of money. Obviously, we can't do that, but I mean, somebody like this, somebody with this type of experience would be very much ideal, to deal with this. And I think, man, listen, I'm not, I think it could be a good option. Shout out to Strasbourg Steve on the chat. Says morning, Chris, morning, mighty win. We know Steve has got a nice channel, and he does watch all kinds of leagues and games. So that's sports commentary, and he would know a lot of these players, a lot of these people. So shout out to Steve, and hope to have you on the match reaction is like 2 weeks from now, but we'll be in touch so we can discuss further shows, brother. Because we got the Talk of the Tune worldwide coming up with various fans around the world, as well as the American Mags. So stay tuned for those. We are in the process of recruiting. So we've been I mean, people ask, why is the Mighty Win on the American Mags? Well, I don't know either, but what can I do? Can't kick the old dog down. Trolls in house sees the guys in training, and if they aren't fit, then he still plays them. Longy and so on. Botman, he says how out again. Well, he's talking about the injuries, of course, and we talked about it last night on the Undisputed. I mean, do you think that the DOF, bringing it to our topic right now, because we got a lot of news, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned for those. We got a lot of news to talk about. But do you think a DOF has a say in this situation? Because at the end of the day, he's there to be there to take care of the club's interest. And if he's seeing that players are being played hurt, does he have the right to come down and say, Eddie, I don't think this is right? Medical team, can he look at the medical team and say,
absolutely can. The DOF, his job is to do everything related to the football. So not the business side of things, not the sponsorship, the corporate, any of that. Whatever's happening on the pitch is his responsibility. So he will appoint all of the medical staff. I mean, obviously he won't because he'll inherit some, but he'll have to grade the coaching staff. He will decide who's going to be the manager ultimately. And all of that stuff. So the answer to that question is a resounding yes. He will have the power to turn around. I mean, you would hope that the medical team, if they felt that their advice was going unheeded, you would hope that they would go to him and say, hey, man, what's going on here? We're telling Eddie that these players aren't fit and he's still playing them. Now, could it be that since Ashworth's been peddled, they've got nobody to go to? I mean, that's a very, very far-fetched reason for some of the injuries, because they've been going on since Ashworth was here. In fact, Colin was saying in the chat, getting a bit of flack for it, that he thinks it's literally just down to bad luck, and there's nothing you can do about it. He points to the fact that last season, doing exactly the same thing last season, we didn't have the same amount of injuries as we've got this season.
Now, there were strong reports that Richard Hughes, technical director of Bournemouth, was the man to be lined up, given his previous connection with Eddie. But I mean, again, we get into the same.
He's gone to Liverpool now, hasn't he?
Well, fair enough, but we know
he's gone to Liverpool as a number 2 to Rob Edwards, who's gone back to Liverpool to try and breach the club void.
Well, I tell you what, if Newcastle said, "Are you going to be our number 1?" I doubt that he'll go to Liverpool, unless he really wants to go to Liverpool. Because
well, I think I'm pretty sure he will have had that option.
But do you think that's right, though? Just because he was he worked with Eddie, that he should be. Look, that was my point right there. That it's difficult for me to comprehend that just because essentially you would bring somebody just because they work with Eddie. But what happened if Eddie doesn't stay much longer? Then you're
in any career that you're in, you want to get to the top, and Liverpool's pretty much the top of world football. You don't get a lot higher. There's probably put a couple of teams higher than them, 3 or 4 maybe at the most, but they're certainly higher up the food chain than what we are right now. So if you get a chance to go, I mean, I don't know what the salary. Obviously, the salary comes into it as well. I've got no idea what the salaries involved will be. But if you get a chance to work for the Queen as opposed to working for the Duke of Northumberland, you're going to work for the Queen.
Well, but relax with your analogies, because you're making it sound like we're freaking a 5th league club. We're not. Newcastle United are very.
Well,
we have. You can say all you want.
Elite.
You can say all you want about Manchester United and then Ashworth choosing to leave, but there's not a better project in the Premier League than Newcastle United.
That's exactly what it is, a project. As we have become accustomed to now, it's a project where we've got our hands tied behind our backs.
What I'm saying,
and anybody looking at that as a prospective place to be will be fully aware of that.
Yeah, but I'm not buying this. I understand Liverpool is a different story, but Man United, I don't really see that. I think they
Man United are bigger than Liverpool, man.
That's what you say. I don't believe that.
Oh,
I don't believe that.
Man United are the second biggest, if not the biggest club on the planet.
No, they're not the biggest club on the planet. Real Madrid is.
It's between Man U and Real
Barcelona
Madrid.
could be bigger than them. Liverpool has won 6 Champions League. That's the ultimate trophy in European football. And Man United have 2.
No, we're cooking on gas. This is more like a win, Chris.
This is more like an undisputed.
Liverpool can have won as many. I mean, their fans will hate me for this. They can win as many trophies as they like in terms of European League. Man United have now won more league titles, and the history and magic of Man United predates the Liverpool. The Busby Babes 58 predates all of the Liverpool success.
But you sound like a Man U fan. No.
Man United,
Liverpool.
not
can
say
say
what,
I
because it's
I can
the
say,
morning
and
show,
I don't like
so I will curtail my language.
I
But
despise saying this, but I do believe Liverpool is the biggest club in England. I mean,
well, you
because
know, you
because
know.
of the fan base and because of the trophies, because they won more important trophies than Man United. That's just the way I think about it.
Well,
You know,
I'm talking about the crowd base
and they,
worldwide. Worldwide, Man United
you
are
you
bigger
you
than
can say
Liverpool.
that you can say that Cristiano Ronaldo helped out a lot, but before that, it wasn't. It wasn't a worldwide situation. Cristiano Ronaldo definitely helped us, so I understand it. But Liverpool is also big, big, big worldwide, and on top of that, they got more important trophies. With
Yeah.
With all due
But
respect,
that's the pecking order.
The Premier League
In the Premier League, you've got
up
Man
until
United,
yeah.
Liverpool, Arsenal, and the rest, basically.
No, they see again. You can't you say Chelsea is not a big club because they weren't, but now they are because they got trophies now. This
Yeah, but yeah,
this 21st century, Chelsea is at the top of the top in
no,
European football.
Man City are far higher up the food chain now than Chelsea are.
No, no, my
Chelsea
God,
had a brief period in the sun,
what?
a brief period from
It
when
was
Abramovich was
Chelsea and
there.
Manchester United that were fighting for the Premier League. Basically up until 2000, like the whole early 2000s, and
Yeah,
fighting for, and they were
until
actually fighting for Champions League.
Jake Mansell came along at Man City.
And that's in 2007. They won,
That was 2008.
yeah, 2008, and they won like around what 2010,
And by
2011. So
2011, they
you
were
can
there.
say that since 11 to now, they've been the dynasty. But you mean when they talk about heritage and football history, Man City are nowhere near that. They're building, but they're nowhere near that. So
Man
now
City are
us,
bigger than Chelsea, much bigger than Chelsea.
no, they're not. Man. Oh man, what are
Yes,
you
they are,
doing, man? Listen, but first of all, welcome.
historically and everything.
Hold on. Welcome to Peter Macardo. Am I saying your name right? To the YouTube membership. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. And I'm sorry for you that you have to hear the nonsense that comes out of this old geezer. But we have to put up with it. Can you believe he's saying Man City is a bigger club than Chelsea? Come on, man. And the one thing that we have in our advantage is that Man City didn't have, and Chelsea I'm sure didn't have. I know that Jason Cundy will come out and say that he that Chelsea did this, Chelsea did that. They weren't a big club. They weren't a big club before their takeover. They weren't a big club. Let's be
No, and
honest.
they're not a big club now.
They
They're
are,
they're
yes, they are because
they're
they
on the
won.
wane. Yeah,
They
sorry,
won and
I
they're
mean, they
staying
are still a big club, but
because they won and they're
they
staying
aren't
active.
growing.
They're
They
not.
aren't growing. Man
They
City are
listen
growing
to
all
me.
the time.
They won and they're staying active. Not like Nottingham Forest or Aston Villa that won and then fucking nothing else happened. They won. Chelsea won and they're still being there.
Aston Villa are a bigger club than Chelsea.
Yeah, come. What is this, man? Am I?
I'm
Am I?
telling
Am
you,
I?
man, we're talking about 100 years of history here, man.
Yeah, and that's why I keep saying
And
this.
that 100 years of history
That's
translates itself into all the immigrants that left
no.
England to
Listen.
go all over the world. So that's why they have these big
Yeah.
fan bases all over the world,
They got
just
big
like
fans, but I mean,
Newcastle.
you could say Barcelona's
Because
got a big,
Newcastle
but
were a big club.
Barcelona's got a bigger fan base than Manchester United. Come on, man.
Why not
Barcelona's,
likely?
Real Madrid, I believe so.
Real
Even Bayern
Madrid, I'll
Munich.
give you. I'll give
Are
you
you
Real
kidding me?
Madrid. But
Bayern Munich and
Barcelona,
Bayern Munich. That's in most people, according to you. I don't believe that. I respect all leagues because I think they're all tough. You say they work in a farmers league. They are one of the biggest clubs in football history. It had had the best players in football history, and
in
I'm not
terms
talking
of,
about Cristiano
yes,
Ronaldo or
in,
Messi. I'm talking about
in
Franz Beckenbauer.
listen,
I'm talking about
you're going to
you
have to
know
get some realities here, Chris. Bayern
no
Munich, in terms of trophies won and success and all that, yes. But the problem
in
is,
history.
people worldwide had a tendency not to like Germans, remember?
Well, yeah, but I mean, what are you gonna do with that? We're talking about football, man. I mean,
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. That's where your fan base comes down through the generations. Father
right.
supports, so son supports. How many German supporters do you think there were at the turn of the war? Like, let's say when
Well,
the
right.
European Cup first started,
Uh,
which was 57, was it? I think So when the European Cup first started, we first went in it in
Anyways,
58.
anyways, this is a good comment by Mighty Mac. He says, I'm just waiting for the next lot of bad news from the tune Black Cloud over us. Now listen, we got to get back to the tune, and we're definitely going to have this discussion. We should have had this on the Undisputed show. The Undisputed is for that.
That's it. And then we're gonna have a head-to-head.
But just to that, one thing that's Newcastle's advantage is that we have history that cannot be
That's right.
erased. I don't care what you say, because you don't count titles in the 20s because they were in the 20s 100 years ago. I
No,
count them because they
I
fucking
do
count.
count titles in the 20s.
Now we have history, we have heritage. Maybe not the biggest in the. We could have been. God damn it, we could have been, but it didn't happen. But and on top of that, now we have this. We're not like Man City or Chelsea that didn't really exist until their takeover. That's just the bottom
Well,
line.
Man City did.
No, man. What the hell did Man City win, man? Not a damn thing. They could have been relegated a couple times. Dude, I know. I have a Man City fan that is my friend, and he's told me we didn't exist. We were like shite compared to Man United our whole lives.
I
And
hope that
now
Mancunian Way's not watching now, by the way.
that's just the way it is, man. He can watch it and he can have his
Man
say.
City beat us in the I was there. They beat us in the League Cup final in 76.
Okay,
They
man.
beat us at St. James's Park to win the title in 68.
But okay,
And
so
that was when Man U had their super team, the team that went
now,
on to they won the European Cup that year, but Man City won the league.
Biker says Mighty Win severed in the Boer War with both world wars. But now let me ask you this:
Me and Baden Powell were there together.
Who before City's takeover? Who was the bigger club, Newcastle or Man City?
They were pretty much of a muchness, really.
No, man. See, you have battered wife syndrome, man. I worry for you because you really have. And plus, by the way, which is insane, in Liverpool can probably, and I know that when you get titles though, but we got to keep it objective. When you get titles, other fan base start talking about you, and other fan bases start. And I know that we've said that Liverpool's fan base, they use speakers and they all this and all that. Listen, all for banter, that's all amazing, but let's be honest, Liverpool's fan base is pretty strong, not stronger than ours, which is crazy and insane to me because we could have just left the club a long time ago, honestly, because of the amount.
Are the epitome of the sleeping giant.
Yeah, and meaning, but what I'm saying is because listen, once Newcastle starts winning titles, once Newcastle becomes a big club in Europe, like Chelsea and Man City are, unlike what you think.
Yeah, but but you were comparing. You've straight away you've compared Man United.
People are going to be saying that we also have speakers, that we also have fake fans, that we also control the atmosphere with the switch. They're going to be saying all that. The same thing that we say about Liverpool, they're going to be saying, but again, I didn't compare. I think that Liverpool is a bigger club with everything, counting everything, than Man United. Now, Man United probably has a bigger fan base. Doesn't mean that Liverpool has a shite fan base around the world. You have African kids with Liverpool shirts.
You are basing that purely on European Cups and Champions Leagues.
Because that is the most important title in the world, club-wise.
Right, yeah, right. But
bigger than the Club World Cup.
Straight. The reason you're even comparing Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and Barcelona to Man United and Liverpool is because they win their leagues every year. It's a lot harder to win the Premier League or the old First Division with a competition that's there than it is to win the Bundesliga, even Serie A. There's probably 5 clubs in Serie A who've got a half a chance. 2 clubs, 3 clubs, maybe Milan, Inter, and Juventus, who've got a regular chance of winning. Whereas in England, half the clubs in the league have got a chance of winning. At least they did have until it became the Premier League. So that's why we used to have different winners every year. Almost, it was very unusual to do.
But it doesn't happen no more. In this Premier League, that's so tough, like you said, so tough. The same people win every year. when they have the dynasty, Man United and Chelsea fought for the Premier League title in the early 2000s up until 2010, 11, whatever.
Well, Man
And even
United and Arsenal before that.
and it was Arsenal in late 90s. It was
Yeah,
us in
yeah.
the late 90s and Man
And it
United in
was
the late, three
Liverpool
clubs.
Leeds before that. There's
And
never
so
been.
there's only a few, but the big clubs still. I mean, Liverpool. You're talking about Liverpool from then, and even though Liverpool won their first title, Premier League in 2019, because people say they've won their because some shy ex player
The
talking about
first
Liverpool.
Premiership. That's the
Yeah, yeah,
difference. First
Premier League,
Premiership.
Premier League. So that's what they're saying. Some shy pundit that wanted to steer, because I hate those pundits with any club that say they won their first. It was an ex player too. I can't remember his name now. It was a Manu fan, a player. That he said, "Well, I don't know." Oh, Roy Keane, dumbass Roy Keane, trying to fight Alan Shearer. He said, excellent captain, by the way, but a shite person, from what I can tell. He was like, I don't know
Great
what they're
right, man.
I don't know what they're on about. They won their first title in over 30 years. That is a shite statement, because Man U would love to have as many Champions Leagues as Liverpool did have, and they kept English football alive in Europe. That's just the way it is, man. Let's not try to persuade it or change it. That's not the first title in 30 years. It's a Premier League title, but even then, even though in 30 years they got only one, you can't tell me that in 30 years they didn't fight for the title more than once. They always were in the race. They were always
No,
being
was
talked
it?
about.
Well,
Players always came. Players always
very,
were,
very, very rare for the word.
So I'm just saying. Alan McCurtry
But
says
for you to have for you to have half a notion, ask any Liverpool fan who's the biggest club, Liverpool or Man United, and even the Liverpool fans, if
no
they're
way.
honest, will
No,
say
but
Man
see,
United.
but
I
see, but
guarantee it.
you're making it a fan thing. To me, the greatest club in the world is Newcastle United. So if you're gonna make it a fan thing, then everybody's got their own club. I'm being objective. I could care less what fans think.
No,
You know
no,
what I
and
mean?
I'm being objective, and I'm
No,
being
no,
objective when
you're
I
being
say at the minute Newcastle United is not one of the biggest clubs in the world.
well. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm trying I'm not. That's why I'm not gonna make it a fan thing. You got to look at. I look at titles, because titles are the most important thing the club can get. Fan
Well,
base,
I
how
think
much
the
they
only way
generate.
the only way you can judge it now is with revenue. And Man
No,
United's revenue was
no.
probably 30% bigger than
Yeah, but
Liverpool.
no, not the only way. Not the only way. Can't be the only way. But listen, Alan McCarthy says Chris Man City Dame Dame Tune. Man, you got to read that.
Man
They are
City,
they never came near top of Premier League before Abu Dhabi money. Exactly. So I'm right. They never did. They were never. You know what I mean? That's shit.
well, that's right. I
If
absolutely.
if it wasn't for Erling Haaland saying, because his dad played for City when they were shite, I would have never known that he had a dad that played for City. But if it wasn't for Erling Haaland, so and I knew, obviously I knew, but you get the point. It's just and Juventus, one of the biggest clubs in the world as well. Back in the saying they're trash, but they are one of the biggest clubs in the
Yeah,
world.
well, Juventus are one of the biggest clubs
A- A- AC,
because of their heritage. We see all of the
AC,
Italian immigrants.
AC Milan. AC Milan is one of the biggest clubs in the world, ain't?
Absolutely.
It's you cannot. There are ace people in South Africa, in India, with AC Milan shirts on. Same as Man U, same as Liverpool, same as Chelsea. When I
Be-
grew up, broke is
because of the history, because of the heritage.
yeah.
That's
I
the
didn't say
point I'm
no,
making. That actually titles, European titles.
but
Uh,
how do you think that people become fans, man? Because of winning,
no, they
because of
become
winning.
they become fans because their dad was a fan, because their granddad was a fan,
That could
and
be as
and,
well,
and,
but
and it,
as
it
well
goes
as
goes back. It goes back all those years when Inter
people like
Milan were
Cristiano.
winning the European. There was only really Inter Milan and Real Madrid who were
People,
winning the European Cup then.
man, like people like Cristiano Ronaldo, like Lionel Messi, made those top notch players also steered a lot of fan base towards those clubs. No question about it. And Cristiano Ronaldo made Man U a lot bigger in this day and era. He did, man. He did. If it wasn't for him, but that's fair enough though,
We're
because
just going to have another agree to differ moment, Sunshine, because
yeah.
you'll
I'm just
never
saying,
convince
players,
me. At
play,
the minute,
play.
I'm not saying it couldn't change because everything evolves. But right now, Man U are a far bigger club worldwide than Liverpool.
No, I don't believe
And
that.
that's it. That's it. But and it's touch and go now between even though Man U have had no success since Fergie left, or virtually no
Yeah, and
success.
I've
Their
said
fan
this.
base is still massive
I've said this before. If Man U
because
didn't have a fan base like they
you
did,
know
they would be in the fifth division because they would be.
unlike Americans, you see, when we pick a club, we stick with it.
Yeah, trust me, America. That's nonsense. What you just said. You come to America and go to this to American football and talk shit like that. You're gonna get a fucking beer shoved down your throat. That's you know what I mean. Our fan bases are fierce, brother. I don't know what you guys are talking about over there. Even baseball, which you might think is boring,
Now you see there you go. Baseball, yes, because
they'll fucking throw back.
the baseball
Very
heritage
much,
goes back
yeah.
100 years, which
You
is
couldn't.
what our heritage goes back.
I suggest people look up Yankees versus Red Sox rivalry, and it goes back 100 years.
Exactly,
And
that's the point I'm
fierce.
making.
When you talk
That's
about fierce,
baseball. That's baseball.
you're talking about
But you
fierce rivalry. Now,
new new
football, no. MLS, no.
the Patriots fan base grew exponentially when Tommy Terrific was there.
Yeah, very
It
much
just
so.
went through the roof because
Very
it's
much so.
because when you're a kid, and let's say your parents or grandparents haven't got a particular affiliation, obviously you want to support the winning clubs. This is why Chelsea have grown their fan base during their um, period of success. Same with Man City. That's why their fan base has grown worldwide. This is with kids who haven't got any family ties. But what I'm saying is it's the 100 years plus of heritage that gives these other clubs
Hi,
such
coffee.
massive worldwide appeal. Even look at, if you go into Scotland, look at Celtic and Rangers. Celtic and Rangers, for all that two tuppence halfpenny clubs you might argue now in the tuppence halfpenny league, their worldwide following is fantastic. Because all of the Scottish immigrants who left, they all supported either Rangers or Celtic, and they've taken that with them and passed it on down through their family. So they've got huge worldwide appeal.
Well, let's talk about the tune because you're talking nonsense again, and we can't let the audience listen to that crap. Hi, coffee. By the way, good morning or well afternoon, early afternoon for you guys, and everybody in the chat. I appreciate you coming on. Of course. By the way, tonight 10 p.m. we're gonna have the injury show. We're gonna be talking about the injuries going from the very first injury this season to the very last one. How many, how often, what's happened, and all that stuff. Big up our friend and our best friend of the channel, Little Mason, who's not so little, by the way. He's like 6'4". But our teddy bear Mason right there, Derek. I thought it was the religion for
That's
Rangers.
that's that's the
Yeah,
divide.
very much.
Definitely, that's the divide between Rangers
That's
and
crazy.
Celtic. So all the Protestant immigrants went out and
Yeah,
supported Rangers. All the Catholic immigrants went out and supported Celtic.
yeah, very much
Absolutely.
so. Shout out to Mason. And everybody out there talking. Goatfather, Nottingham Forest have heritage. Are they considered a big club? No, they're not a big club. Aston Villa, with all due respect, they're like us. Let's be honest. They're like us, as well as as Spurs.
Well, they're bigger than we are.
Spurs,
Yeah.
Spurs, Aston Villa, and Newcastle United are
Just
very
just
much about.
just on a just there's a comment there from Gillian, who became a member not so long ago, I remember, and she's saying that she's in contact with a lot of Aussie fans who
Well,
are over
Jillian,
the
no,
moon.
well, that's top line on Jillian. She's not a member yet. Not a member yet. You could always become a member, Jillian. She's not a member yet,
I
though.
thought she joined last week or something. Never mind.
No. We have, by the
Anyway,
way, 100 people watching us.
so Marky Mark from Toon Under,
Mm-hmm.
he'll be on the
Talk of the Tune
Talk of the
Worldwide
Toon
show.
Worldwide next week. And I've been tuning into their channel, and they are absolutely buzzing that the Toon are going down there for the two friendlies.
Yeah, and by the way, we're gonna let's mention it right now. We will be having a Talk of the Tune Worldwide weekly show where we bring fans from all over the world to have their say. And we're bringing, Australian fans, obviously, the Tune Under podcast, which is the biggest. Well, what is it? What is it, Mighty Wind? You say it.
The biggest Newcastle podcast in the Southern Hemisphere.
There we go. And we are the biggest Newcastle fan base in North America. I'm just saying. I mean, we are. I mean, I can't lie about it. But and so, we're going to be bringing all these fans, maybe people from Singapore, from Malaysia, maybe from
South Africa.
South Africa. And did you get Nigeria as well?
Well, we're working on Nigeria and Germany at the minute.
We're working on Nigeria and Germany. But we're going to get people from all over the world. Of course, Canada, our own Ryan Realm. He is a Canadian. Myself, American, of course, but I might be bringing Steve Strasburg. He's also American from another side of America, very different. He's a city boy. I'm a country boy. Different styles, different accents, and so bring another American perspective. Canadian people again, African, Asian, and we're gonna have old man here just to represent for the tune. Obviously our Roy for the Middle East, of course, bringing that perspective as well. And so we're going to have a really, really good show in the Talk of the Tune Worldwide. And but so stay tuned. That might be, are we doing that on Wednesdays? That might be 11 p.m.
Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, it might be 11 p.m. Might be late for some of you, but just stay tuned, and you can always watch it on replay. But yes,
and that's of course because we're trying to put it in a time slot that's
for everybody,
handy for everyone. We don't want anybody having to get up in the middle of the night to do it.
Yep. And Gillian says we need Aussie fans on Chris. Yeah, we do very much. Right now, what time is it in Australia? Is it like 11 hours?
Well, anywhere between 10 and 12 hours in front of us.
Yeah,
so it's kind of anywhere between 10 p.m. and midnight right now.
Right. Now Aston Villa versus Newcastle, who's bigger? That's debatable. Listen, I keep saying this. To me, it's Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Tottenham that are in the very, very same place when it comes to football. His football heritage history from the beginning of times until today. A lot of people talk about Spurs. I've said this with the utmost respect to the Tottenham fans. If they didn't live in North London and had Arsenal as a rival, they would be, they wouldn't be talked about as much. That's just the bottom line. They had successful years just like we did in the early century, and well, not this one, the past one. And well, I mean, kind of this one in late 90s, we had success. Success is not just winning titles.
Yeah, there's in the 60s.
And also the 60s. And so, when listen, and the Spurs had their run as well in the 80s, I believe, and they won an FA Cup in 2008. Or not FA Cup, was it FA Cup? I believe it was the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And in 08. So they had their runs, but in Aston Villa, of course, they won the Champions League or European Cup. And but then again, they also didn't maintain. Now, if they were, in my opinion, like Chelsea, where they won it and they won Premier Leagues and they maintained like this whole time, Chelsea has been maintained their level since early 2000s until now. And so I consider them a big club. Now, Aston Villa didn't do that. Therefore, I believe that we all are about the same. And ironically enough, this season, I believe that we should have been right there fighting for the 4th, 5th, 6th spot. But obviously,
we still might.
And different reasons. We've had injuries that both of those didn't have. Spurs and Aston Villa didn't play as many competitions as we did. They got eliminated from the Carabao and FA Cup early. So, all that taken in consideration, it made them to have a better Premier League season, as well as injuries. And so I believe historically and present, we're about the same. It's just like one of those sleeping giants.
Davey Eddie, who's the biggest Villa on Newcastle, if you stick the records together now, I would have to say Villa, because they've won the Premier League or the First Division as it was more recently than we have by a long way.
But that doesn't mean that they're bigger though.
They've won other trophies. They've won the League Cup and the FA Cup more recently than we've won, and of course,
that doesn't make them a big
we've
club.
won the Champions League. Well, the European Cup as it was.
Just because you won it, I mean, so Spurs is bigger than all of us then because they won a cup in 08. Just because you won it recently doesn't mean you're the biggest, man. What did you talking?
Hang on. So now you're changing your tune because your argument was that because Real Madrid have won all these trophies, they're bigger, and because Liverpool have won more, they're bigger. Yeah. And now you're saying that's not the case.
I count everything from the beginning of time until now. And if the last 4 years, Man City didn't win anything and they won 4 Champions Leagues in a row, that's part of history. That's part of their history now. Even if they won it the last 4 years, meaning I count everything. I count everything, mate. You know, but you can't just say that because it was 80 years ago, it doesn't count or it's not as heavy as this one. No, if you take everything in consideration, we won the damn league when we had to fucking use horses. So, to me, that's a lot tougher than private playing.
I'm just saying that Aston Villa could rightly claim right now to be a bigger club than Newcastle. In terms of modern history, we're on a par, early part of our history.
Yeah, it's like I said.
There was one stage when the two of us would both won 6 FA Cups, which was the pinnacle. Back in the day, the FA Cup was even more important than the Championship.
Just like I think. Just as well as
ourselves and Villa were the two preeminent teams in that regard.
Tristan says
a long time ago, and they've done a lot more since.
Tristan says it's called heritage. Chris, go look it up. What are you? Are you in favor of my argument or his? Because I don't understand what you're saying. Because I'm saying heritage is what you won before, what you meant before, and I'm all for that. He doesn't give a shit about that. He says if you won it recently, that makes you bigger.
Au contraire, I'm saying heritage is everything.
Yeah, I'm
saying that's why this started off when we're talking about who's the biggest clubs worldwide. Yeah. And my whole point was that is all about heritage, nothing to do with trophies, all about heritage.
Yeah, but it make a bigger trophies also counts in favor of heritage, and that makes fans lean towards you, and follow you. Because the dad, granddaddy, all that works as well. But like me, and also bringing players, because for me, if Solano played for Aston Villa, I'd probably be an Aston Villa fan.
Well, he did play for Aston Villa.
Well, I know, but he did actually. You're right. You got a good point, but he didn't touch me as deep. No pun intended. I never met him. But I've talked to him, and what he did for Newcastle, and obviously you can feel it because he's there.
I've met him.
He's done more. He's done more in Newcastle, and felt more with Newcastle. Fell in love more with Newcastle, even though I'm sure he respects Aston Villa and West Ham and Leicester and all those clubs, Hull City that he played. But and just like in Germany, I fell in love with Bayern Munich because Claudio Pizarro played there. Because he was an all-time goal scorer in the there in the international and all that. Now he played for Chelsea too, but I could care less. You know what I mean? And so players do make a change as well on this situation. Have a say on this for fan base to turn, and that's what we want. Actually, I've said this before. If Manchester United had no fan base, they would be in the 5th division because they've been ran so poorly. But their fan base around the world keeps them afloat, keeps bringing the money in. And now if we had that situation, we would have never been relegated. We would have never been in this predicament. We would just be another club, another great club that was run badly, which we were. And so but it's debatable. I do believe that Aston Villa, Spurs, and Newcastle are very much in the same in the same bracket. And and you can pick your poison. You can pick your poison. So again, titles in the 20s.
Your poison will depend upon a lot of things. One of the most important of which is who does your dad support?
Yeah, but that obviously that does count very much. But I've seen also if kids that I mean, you look at Warren Barton. When I talked to him, he said, he was an Arsenal fan and growing up,
Yeah.
but his kids follow all kinds of clubs. In the Premier League, Chelsea fans. I don't even think he has maybe one that's Newcastle fan.
Well,
But so
that's because I think he said that his kids, uh, when they were of an age, you're talking, I suppose, between about 4 to 12 or something like that. When it becomes instilled in you,
yeah.
that was when Arsenal were in the doldrums, not doing anything. So I think they said one of them's a Chelsea fan and one of them's a Man U fan or
Well,
something, didn't he?
Tristan Hall has a perfect example. His father and grandfather are Sunderland fans. And so
Well,
that also,
to be fair, there's a lot of that in the northeast.
well, exactly.
Going back to
So
the old
it's not
mining
just
towns where.
now. By the way, I want to give a big shout out to people on Twitter. 71 people watching us, 41 on YouTube. Thank you so much. We have 112 people combined watching us right now. So nice breakfast show with the old man and the wise one. So
Was that Wade boy or Wise boy?
wise one, the wise boy,
The Wade boy, aye.
but that's the Sunderland deal. We have a friend that we might be bringing. By the way, um, from Black and White Banter, Matt. He probably going to be joining us as well on maybe Talk of the Tune or Fans Forum. We'll see. But great channel. And we're gonna be getting them on. But we've got. I mean, this guy that I'm not going to mention his name, but we've got people that live in Sunderland that follow the tune and been living in Sunderland forever. So and even people in Middlesbrough and all. So you said you told me privately also another town that people live and travel like an hour away, 2 hours away, or whatever.
Well, it gets back to a bit what Tristan was saying, that there's lots of families where you've got one half supports Newcastle and one Sunderland, and that dates back from when the miners in the area, the whole of the northeast, used to follow the work. So if a pit closed down in the Sunderland area and a new pit opened up in the Ashington area, they would move to Ashington, but they
Our
still supported Sunderland.
our own Dom NUFC insider on
Yes,
the chat.
yeah.
What's going? The voice of reason. Which, by the way, join us tonight again for the injury show. We have had transfer show, we've had rumor show, we had all that. But tonight we're gonna have the injury show. So DX and Paul and Roy. Roy might be late because he is always doing something, but we will be talking about injuries. Ronald says my family are all Newcastle. See, that would be that's enviable, but it's also enviable. I could say not tooting my own horn, but what I've done. Just chose Newcastle. To me, choosing when you're away, you're an international fan. You can choose all kinds of clubs. To me, that has a value to it. Not just saying for me. I'm saying for anybody that just says, you know what, I'm going to choose to follow Newcastle. I mean, I think that's very much valuable, as well as the family heritage following the club. That's amazing. I hope my kids. I think my daughter is going to follow the tune more than my son because she puts that tune top on like nothing, and my son takes it off. But oh man, stop touching stuff, man. Now you're gone. So that's wonderful. Gillian said my dad was a big Newcastle fan. I have his Newcastle mirror from the 70s. He breathed Newcastle. Wow, that's crazy. That's nice though. Nice, very much, very good. The Jordy C, man, my friend. Hey, Mighty Wind, your camera's off, mate. What did you
Yeah, I
do?
know.
Okay.
I'm just busy.
Oh, okay.
My computer decided it was going to shut down because it wasn't charged sufficiently.
Oh my God. Well, Jordy C, I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Jordy C is one of the people that I wish I could gift a membership to certain people because when you gift a membership, they YouTube picks his own people according to how good they interact on the chat. But I wish I could give Jordy C a membership because He followed this channel since day one, basically. Inter Yamai as well, who's is in college, who's in university, and he says he watches the shows. But Jordy Z, I appreciate you. Greg, that's his name. Appreciate you, my friend, always being there. He says half of his family are Arsenal fans. So there you go. He chose the tune though. And Jordy Z, by the way, he said his uncle played drums for the Geordie, the band in
Ah,
Newcastle with Brian Johnson. So
there you
that is
go.
something to keep. Jordy Z, appreciate you. And he also, when he offered me, when he was just a fan, nothing, we haven't talked in private. He said, "I'll give you my season ticket so you can go to the tune when we get there, when I go there." So Jordy Z, salute you, my brother, because you are a top class fella, and I hope you're doing well. I hope everything is. I hope everything is well with you, my friend. Hopefully everything is good. Um, Tristan Hall says Chris is the divide. South Shields, North Shields has a swing now. There's a lot of Toon fans in South Shields, as Derek will tell you. It was pure
That's right.
Sunderland.
The Sand Dancers were all Mackhams at one time.
Now, let me ask you this. Thank you, Gillian, for being on Twitter. I appreciate that. What is the definition of a Macam? And I'm not asking, obviously people in the chat are going to be going, I'll tell you what it is.
But
No, but is a Macam the
it's
actual
a
word?
Geordie with his brains kicked out, isn't it?
But is it actually a word that means something originally, or is it just something that we made up for Sunderland fans?
There's no definitive answer to where it came from, but the one that most people quote is the fact that when both the Weir and the Tyne were two big shipbuilding rivers, the Sunderland shipbuilders would build ships, and then they would go out on their sea trials and find out that there was loads of faults on the ship. So they would sail back into the Tyne to get all the faults remedied. So the saying was that the Sunderland shipbuilders, they would mack them and we would tack them to fix them. So there were Mackhams and Tackhams. They were the Mackhams. They would build the boats, but we would have to fix them for them and get them seaworthy. So that's the generally. I think I would say that's probably the most accepted reason for the derivation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was boring. I wish it was a better explanation. Ronald,
You can't beat the truth, but you see, some people can't handle the truth.
Ronald says they make them and take them. There you go. But Macams are well, actually, in the US, they have a phrase in certain like high school teams when they play basketball or whatever. Uh, they say sick 'em as when like it get towards the rivals. Like get them or it means something like that. So I thought the Macam would be something like that. But
No.
it turns out it's just it's a definition for certain people. Where side we Macam,
We
and
mack
you
them,
take 'em.
you tack them. We
Yeah.
make the ships, you take the ships.
Nice. Well, mighty win. I mean, Gillian says, "Oh my God, Macam, my friend's husband is one, but he's one
One
I
I wouldn't
wouldn't
speak
speak
of.
of." We had a lot of news today that we did never touched, which is sad. But we will keep these for another show. But we're going a bit long, and we got caught up in our discussion of who's bigger, which is great too. It would have been nicer for the undisputed show because
Well,
that's
see, these things are spontaneous. They're always better
that's
when they're spontaneous.
that's right. That's right. And I'm glad that people tune in and people enjoy these. I will be giving away a membership right now, an ultimate membership. By the way, if you were gifted a
Give it to
membership
the
before,
mighty bin.
where's the mighty bin? The mighty
Give
bin
it to
took
the.
off,
I'm
man.
saying, give it to the mighty bin for taking away all the crap that I talk.
I can't. Unfortunately, I can't choose the person that it goes to. It's whoever interacts the most. So we're gonna be giving away a membership right now and see where it goes to. Right now we will be announced. Who did it go to? We're still thinking. YouTube is thinking, ladies and gentlemen, and it was given to Chris Richardson. Chris Richardson, congrats, my friend. Congrats on the membership. And he must be watching because I didn't see him active on the chat, but he must be certainly watching right now. But listen, if you were gifted a membership right now, everybody that gets gifted a membership, they become ultimate, the highest tier members, which is about 4.5 pounds. Yeah, you get exclusive content, member only live shows, and you can watch those on replay as well. You get your name added 5 times to the raffle, meaning you can win these prizes. You have a higher chance to winning these prizes, and you get videos only for members. We get a lot of stuff for members, unlike other channels. With all due respect, that don't really, that just do one thing. We do a lot for members. We take care of our members. So we're appreciative of that. If you were gifted a membership today or yesterday or the last week or whatever, those memberships don't cost you a dime. But at the end of the month, at the end of your membership, you can renew, and hopefully you do that and it keeps supporting us because it helps us a lot. And obviously, it's a great thing. That's the only way that we can do it. It helps us a lot, supporting the
Keeps me
channel.
in diapers.
Exactly. Paying for our resources, our StreamYard, our streaming softwares, or all that stuff. So we just got old man set up with a new mic. So it's always helpful to give back, and I appreciate that. Oh, Trolls, look at Trolls, man. Trolls just gave away a membership as well. I appreciate you, Trolls, so much. You're a top lad, man. He gifted a membership and is going to Magpie Exile. Magpie Exile. So congrats to Magpie Exile for
Well,
for that.
where is Magpie Exile 2? Could it be somewhere in the world that we haven't got details for, perhaps?
Yeah,
Get Magpie Exile to
haven't seen much of Magpie Exile on the chat. Hopefully you can chat in and let us know, man, where you're from,
Magpie Exile. Let me know where you're from.
As well as Chris Richardson. Chris Richardson actually been commenting. He commented on the FFP show, and he told us that we were wrong, and that's fine. Everybody can have a say, and so just welcome everybody, and of course, again, enjoy the membership, and at the end, please continue to support the show, the channel, because it helps us a lot to support our own channel. So it's a big deal. So thank you everybody out there. I mean, Harpo, Kelsey, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, the mighty wind from down the road from London. Thank you so much over there to the London folks. Everybody out there, you guys are great, and we built a nice community. Ian Fleming as well, and it's been a very a cool show. Listen, tonight 10 p.m. UK, 5 p.m. United States, we will have the injury show. So Tristan,
But
we'll
do
see you
us some
tonight.
more thumbs up, folks.
Yeah, please smash the like button on your way out. Help us out. Support the channel. It helps us a lot to keep growing. As for right now, me and the Mighty Win, we will see you tonight. Don't miss it. Bye, folks.
Bye-bye
Have a
now.
good one.
Away the land.